Hi everyone, and welcome back to Paradolia. Today's topic is the brothers who are behind the production empire, the Warner Bros. Only few names have left a permanent mark on the captivating world of entertainment quite like the Warner Brothers. From the golden age of Hollywood to the digital age of streaming, this group of brothers, Harry, Albert, Sam, and Jack Warner, have shaped the world of entertainment as we know it today. We look into the intriguing story of the Warner Brothers and their ongoing legacy in the world of film, television, animation, and much more. Looking into the creative minds behind iconic characters and captivating stories, this is the story of Warner Brothers, a story that has captivated decades and continues to inspire millions. So Benjamin Warner, who arrived in the United States in 1883, was the father of the four brothers who would go on to build one of the most famous film studios in history. So he abandoned his hometown of, I believe it's pronounced Krasnoshilsk, which is now in Poland, due to an escalation of anti-Jewish sentiment in the area. Benjamin's survival instincts drove him to North America, so he established his family in Castle Garden, New York, at the height of the Industrial Revolution. After years of traveling around the United States and Canada for employment, Benjamin and his wife Pearl had a huge family full of potential by the 1900s. Harry, Albert, Sam, and Jack Warner were the four brothers out of the total of 12 children who would help Benjamin solidify a new enterprise. So the Warner family's first encounter with the film industry was with Sam Warner in 1905, where he began working as a motion picture operator for Nickelodeon in Youngstown, Ohio. Sam bought a used film camera and a copy of The Great Train Robbery that year. The brothers proceeded to hold a nightly screening in a variety of towns. In Newcastle, Pennsylvania, the brothers constructed their first theater, the Cascade, by turning an empty store into a Nickelodeon with seating for 99 people. The chairs were lent by a local undertaker. Sam and Albert then proceeded to New York to meet with Marcus Lowe, who owned a large number of theaters and saw the future of distribution. The two brothers compensated Lowe $500 for pictures that had already been shown in Lowe's theater, kicking off the Warner distribution. By 1907, the brothers had established a lucrative distribution company called the Duquesne Amusement Supply Company. But they quickly ran into problems with the inventor Thomas Edison, who was instrumental in the invention of film production and projection. Edison had a monopoly on film technology, which became known as the Trust, which 1. required producers to have a license from the Trust to make movies, 2. also needed distributions to have license from the Trust, and 3. charged theaters a $2 weekly fee for each projector used. The Trust broke Duquesne, but by 1912, Harry had decided to follow in the footsteps of another studio pioneer who had avoided Edison. Carl Laemmle, the founder of Universal Studios and Universal City, relocated to California, where the Trust was unable to keep a watch on new film firms. The brothers thrived in California, with Sam establishing a film exchange in Los Angeles, and Jack doing the same in San Francisco. The trust was defunct by 1915 thanks to an antitrust complaints filed against Motion Pictures Patents Company, which was the name for all Edison's film firms. Looking at New York, the Warner Brothers established a distribution firm that purchased and distributed films. In 1916, the technically adept Sam and the colorful Jack rented a modest studio in Hollywood. My 4 Years in Germany, the Warner Brothers' first feature film, aired in December 1917. This film foreshadowed the brothers' future and foretold the future of a successful commercial practice based on the purchasing rights to a popular book so that the film could capitalize on the print bestseller's audience. This was a tactic of generating pre-sold interest in a picture, one that is still utilized today. This story revolved around an ambassador named James W. Gerard and his attempts to avoid World War I. The film's hard-hitting nature would set the tone for the studio's dark, aggressive house style during the Golden Age. My 4 Years in Germany cost $50,000 to produce, with the Warner Brothers foregoing 54% of the earnings. The picture was a success, with $150,000 going to the supplier, $100,000 going to Gerard, and more than $130,000 going to the Warners. With the earnings, the brothers purchased a location in Los Angeles at the intersection of Sunset Boulevard and Bronson Avenue, where they would operate until purchasing the Burbank site where the studio is still located. By promising Gerard 20% of revenues and securing money, Harry secured the Warner Studios' place in the film industry. While the Warners were not the first studio on the scene, the Warner Brothers were now officially in the feature film industry. And on April 4th, 1924, Harry, Sam, Albert, and Jack formally formed Warner Brothers Picture Incorporated. A man named Daryl Zanuck discovered the studio's first star, which was a dog named Rin Tin Tin, and Zanuck supposedly pitched a Rin Tin Tin film to Jack Warner by going down on all fours and acting like an animal. So after Jack cried with laughter, it's easy to see how these two became very good friends. Sam Warner, the technological prodigy, would persuade Harry to invest in sound technology in the following years. And on the morning of June 25, 1925, Harry signed a letter of agreement acquiring exclusive rights to the Vitaphone, the sound method that would permanently revolutionize the cinema's industry through a series of corporate machineries. The Warner Brothers had to develop relationships and partnerships before becoming the most culturally connected studio in the film industry. Warner Brothers, known for their technological prowess in the late 1920s, was not the first firm to demand sound on film. An article in the July 1924 issue of Photoplay describes how Thomas Edison attempted to merge sound into cinema with his kinetophone. This was most likely the first time mainstream audiences heard about this new direction for future films. From then on, it was a rush to incorporate sound technology into a successful picture. The Warner Brothers were the ones to win that war. They would go on to make important films that were current, amusing, and challenging. So we find ourselves at the heart of a legacy that has not only withstood the test of time, but continues to shape the very fabric of entertainment. From the early days of Nickelodeon to the revolutionary introduction of sound in films, the Warner Brothers, led by the visionary minds of Harry, Albert, Sam, and Jack, have not only embraced change, but have driven industry forward with bold innovations. We salute the Warner Brothers for their indomitable spirit, their contribution to the art of entertainment, and the enduring legacy that continues to inspire millions. Remember, this is not just a story. It's the epic tale of the Warner Brothers universe, a universe that continues to shine brightly, bring joy, laughter, and cinematic magic to audiences around the globe. With that, thank you all for joining us on this remarkable look back, and may the legacy of the Warner Brothers live on in the hearts and minds of storytellers and dreamers for generations to come. We'll see you in the next video.